There comes a moment in every life where a quiet voice rises from within. It doesn't scream, it doesn't beg, it commands. It says you were made for more, not more possessions, not more noise, but more clarity, more direction, more mastery. This voice isn't asking you to be perfect. It's demanding that you wake up, because most people, they sleepwalk through life, their eyes open, but their spirit stays shut. They've handed over their potential in exchange for comfort. They've traded purpose for distraction, greatness for convenience. And while their excuses pile up like bricks, a wall is built, a wall between the life they live and the life they were meant to lead. But you wouldn't be here if that voice hadn't already started whispering to you. You know there's more inside you, something raw, something powerful, something waiting. And here's the truth that most people will never accept. Potential isn't something you're given. It's something you unlock. And the key isn't buried in your genetics. It's not found in talent or luck or in some hidden formula. It's found in what you do daily. Your daily habits, the invisible architecture of your future. Because what you do every single day is shaping who you become in the dark, long before the world ever sees it in the light. When Napoleon Hill sat with Andrew Carnegie, he didn't ask how to get rich quick. He asked how to build a life of purpose, a life of power, a life that bends reality to your will. And Carnegie, without hesitation, revealed the truth. Success is not an accident. It is the result of daily disciplines repeated over time with absolute faith and burning desire. Let that sink in. Daily disciplines, not dreams, not wishes, disciplines. Because the person who becomes unstoppable is not the one who gets lucky. It's the one who trains like destiny is a decision, not a chance. So if you want to unlock your greatest potential, it's not about changing your entire life overnight. It's about changing the next moment and the next, and doing it so relentlessly, with so much intensity, that your future has no choice but to be extraordinary. You start by owning your mind, not just listening to it, leading it. Because the mind is not your master. It's your instrument. If you do not program your mind, the world will do it for you. And the world wants you small. It wants you reactive, distracted, sedated. It wants your attention, your time, your dreams, sold cheap. But when you rise with intention, when you start your day not with scrolling but with vision, you begin reclaiming your power. You don't need $1 million morning routine. You need one decision to command the first hour of your day with discipline. Because how you start your day is how you shape your life. This is the hour where legends are born. Not in noise, but in stillness. Not in multitasking, but in clarity. When Edison woke, he didn't reach for distractions. He reached for his notebook. He wrote his ideas, his intentions, his desires. He understood that if you don't tell your mind what to do, it will obey its worst impulses. So every morning, you write down your mission. Not a to-do list, a to-be list. Who will you become today? Because success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by becoming worthy of it. So train your focus like a warrior trains his blade. Eliminate what weakens you. Social media isn't evil, but it's not your source of power. Other people's opinions aren't facts. Your past isn't a prophecy. Feed your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Read pages of wisdom before you consume waves of noise. Listen to voices that challenge you, not just entertain you. Fill your mind with images of where you're going, not stories of why others failed. Because what you hold in your mind with faith and persistence, you will hold in your hand. That's not theory, that's a law. The law of definite purpose, the law of autosuggestion, the law of cause and effect. You plant seeds in your mind every day. Some are weeds, some are roots. Which ones grow depends on what you water. And once your mindset is aligned, you fuel it with movement. Not just exercise, not just sweat, but movement that reminds your body, I am alive, I am capable, I am powerful. Because the body is a slave to routine. Treat it like a machine, feed it trash, let it idle, it breaks. Treat it like a vessel of greatness. Feed it clean fuel. Push it daily. It transforms, and that transformation leaks into everything. Suddenly, your energy rises, your posture shifts, your habits follow, and now your belief starts growing. Because belief is not born from theory. It's born from experience. When you do what you said you would do, even when you didn't feel like doing it, you build belief. That's the foundation of self-respect. And that self-respect becomes the root of unshakable confidence. Confidence isn't walking into the room thinking you're better. It's walking in knowing you don't need to compare at all. You become so focused on your lane that you no longer flinch at someone else's applause. And now you're no longer reacting to life, you're directing it. This is where most people fall. They let the day decide who they'll be, but not you, because you understand now every day is your training ground. You don't wait for the storm to pass. You train in the rain. You show up when it's hard. You rise when it hurts, because that's how you earn your future. This isn't about motivation anymore. This is about identity. You don't just do the habits of high achievers. You become the kind of person who wouldn't live without them. Your standard rises, and when that happens, life begins to bend in your direction. Because clarity is power, and most people walk through life like it's a fog, never seeing beyond the next distraction. But not you. You've chosen to walk with vision, a vision that burns in your chest like a second heart, a picture so vivid it haunts your waking hours. That's not a fantasy. That's your future calling you forward. Do you think Walt Disney saw theme parks first? No. He saw a mouse. He saw stories. He saw the world not for what it was, but for what it could become if someone dared to believe. You must do the same. You must take the raw materials of today and build the future before anyone else can see it. That's what vision is, a contract with your destiny signed in advance, long before the results show up. And vision alone means nothing without purpose. Purpose is the fire that keeps vision alive when nothing else is working, when doors close, when the money doesn't come, when the critics get loud. Purpose is what makes you keep swinging. Henry Ford didn't have a roadmap. He had a mission to make automobiles for the common man, to change the way people moved, worked, and lived. When everyone else told him it couldn't be done, he didn't listen. Why? Because when your purpose is clear, the opinions of the crowd become irrelevant. That's the difference between those who try and those who transform. So ask yourself daily, what is this all for? Not just money, not just titles, but something deeper. If you don't find your purpose, you'll chase someone else's. And the world is filled with people who abandon their mission to serve a distraction. That will not be your story, because you've learned something most people never do. Your habits are not just tasks. They are declarations, declarations of who you are becoming. Every time you wake up early, you are declaring, I'm not here to be average. Every time you push past comfort, you are declaring, I value growth over ease. Every time you choose faith over fear, you are declaring, I will not be stopped. And now, discipline becomes your edge. Not the kind of discipline that punishes, but the kind that frees you. Because when you are disciplined, you are no longer tossed around by emotion. You move whether it's raining, whether it's hard, whether you feel like it or not. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers. And here's the truth they won't tell you. The world does not reward potential. It rewards execution. It rewards the one who shows up after the world stopped clapping, the one who keeps climbing when the mountain grows cold, the one who writes the book, records the videos, builds the business when no one's watching. Discipline is the silent partner of all success stories. And it only grows stronger when paired with one thing, relentless action. Because thinking big means nothing if you act small. You can visualize all day, but if your feet don't move, your dream stays stuck in your mind, gathering dust and doubt. Take the first step, then take another until momentum takes over. Because in the beginning, you push the boulder. But one day, the boulder starts pushing you. Action creates evidence. Evidence creates belief. In belief, that's what rewires your entire identity. You no longer hope for success. You expect it, not from entitlement, but from alignment, because your actions match your ambition. And now even the setbacks serve you. You stop calling them failures. You start calling them feedback. You stop avoiding the hard path. You start walking it on purpose, because you understand growth isn't just the reward, it's the requirement. You look at adversity and smile, not because it's easy, but because it's evidence that you're becoming dangerous. You can't be broken by what you've already overcome. You're not the same person anymore. Your habits have reprogrammed your identity, and that identity becomes your armor. It's not fake confidence. It's not affirmations on a sticky note. It's built from blood and hours. From choosing what's hard when comfort was calling, from staying in the fire long enough for the weakness to burn off. And now gratitude enters. Not the soft kind, not the I'm thankful for my coffee kind, but the warrior's gratitude, the kind that says, I'm grateful for the pain because it made me powerful. I'm grateful for the delays because they made me patient. I'm grateful for every no because it made my yes inevitable. Gratitude is the anchor that keeps you grounded while your results go sky high, because success without gratitude is emptiness in disguise. You must remember, your habits must never outgrow your humility. No matter how high you climb, the roots of your power must remain buried in daily actions, daily service, daily growth, because you are not here just to succeed. You are here to become. You are not here just to succeed. You are here to become the kind of person who bends life toward purpose, who adapts under pressure, who doesn't just endure change, but commands it. Because success in the modern world isn't just about discipline and vision, it's about adaptability. The greatest among us aren't the ones who never face chaos. They're the ones who evolve through it. Darwin didn't say the strongest survive. He said the most adaptable do. When the world shifts, weak minds collapse, but powerful minds, trained minds, they adjust, they pivot, they recalibrate with precision. You want to unlock your highest potential and build habits that don't just thrive in calm, but fortify you for storms, because storms will come, economies will change, people will leave, plans will break, and when they do, what remains? Your foundation, your habits, your mindset, your identity. You must become so mentally agile that no setback can define you. Think of Thomas Edison. He failed 10,000 times before inventing the light bulb. They asked him, why didn't you quit? He said, I didn't fail. I found 10,000 ways that didn't work. That wasn't optimism. That was mental strategy. Edison didn't build just a light bulb. He built a resilient mind. And that's what you must do. You must build a mind that refuses to be shaken, not by criticism, not by failure, not even by success. Because when you unlock your potential, you will face resistance. People will misunderstand you. They'll mock your intensity. They'll call your focus obsession. Let them. They don't see the fire you carry. They don't feel the weight of your vision. You're not here to be understood. You're here to rise. And rising requires resilience. Resilience is not avoiding pain. It's learning to alchemize it. It's saying, throw me in the fire, I'll come out forged. Bury me in darkness, I'll grow roots. Doubt me, and I'll turn it into drive, because pain is not your enemy. Stagnation is. The people who rise are not those who avoid discomfort. They're the ones who build a relationship with it, who shake hands with the struggle and say, you are my teacher now. This is where real transformation begins, when you stop running from what's hard and start extracting power from it. Because here's the secret. Every obstacle contains a seed. Every failure holds a code. Every delay is a disguised lesson in becoming more. Your job is to decode it forever. The moment you believe you've arrived is the moment you begin to decline. The greats Lincoln, Carnegie, Mandela, they never stopped learning because they understood a sharpened mind becomes a magnet for opportunity. So read daily, reflect daily. Ask yourself hard questions. Challenge your assumptions. Test your ideas, because your habits aren't just about action. They're about alignment. You're not just trying to do more. You're trying to become better. And better doesn't come from comfort. It comes from awareness, from brutal honesty with yourself. Am I operating in alignment with my purpose? Am I living today like it matters? Am I building something that will outlast me? Because if the answer is no, then change it. Right now, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now, because your future doesn't respond to feelings, it responds to courage. And courage, real courage, is built daily in the moments where no one's watching. It's built when you choose truth over ease, discomfort over numbness, growth over safety. This is how you unlock your potential, not by waiting for a breakthrough, but by becoming the kind of person who creates one. You don't wait for clarity. You act until it arrives. You don't wait for permission. You give it to yourself. And as you do, something miraculous happens. You begin to trust yourself. That voice inside, once faint, begins to roar. It says, I've got you. You're ready. Keep going. And suddenly, the habits you once had to force become rituals you would never live without. You rise early because the morning is yours. You move because motion is momentum. You reflect because stillness reveals wisdom. You learn because the future belongs to the prepared. You act because life only bends to those in motion. Now the old you wouldn't recognize them. That version of you, the one that waited, hesitated, doubted, that person doesn't live here anymore. Because your habits have rewritten your story. You've become the author of your future, the architect of your potential, the proof that greatness is built one day at a time. And so you keep going, not because you're chasing something, but because you've become something. And that something is unstoppable. Unstoppable. That's what you've become. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Because you did the work, the invisible, uncelebrated, relentless work. The world may not have clapped when you started, but the world does not crown the comfortable. It crowns the committed. You've forged habits not for show, but for soul. You've built a foundation that cannot be shaken by circumstance or broken by delay or softened by praise. You've stepped into the rarest of arenas, self-mastery. And let me tell you something most people will never hear. That arena, it's sacred. Because once you step inside it, you no longer live life on default. You don't react, you design, you don't wish, you will. You don't hope things change. You become the change. And now you don't chase success, you attract it. Not by chance, but by alignment, because success is not luck. Success is not given. Success is not inherited. Success is a byproduct of one thing, who you've become when no one was watching. Every morning you rose without applause. Every workout, every journal entry, every early hour, that was your training ground. And now the world begins to see what you always knew. That greatness isn't a lightning strike. It's a daily decision. It's the sum of invisible victories, the accumulation of intentional habits, the fruit of years of seeds planted in silence. And you've been planting in storms, in drought, in winter. And now the harvest comes, not because the world changed, but because you did. You didn't just unlock your potential. You became it. You built it, stacked it, brick by brick, day by day, one powerful habit at a time. And now there is no going back, because once you realize you were the key all along, you never again hand over your power. You stop waiting for someone to save you. You stop praying for signs. You stop living in delay. And you rise fully, finally, unapologetically, because your life is not an accident. Your gifts are not random. Your vision is not fantasy. It's a blueprint. It's a responsibility. It's a divine assignment. And your habits, they are the tools you've been given to build it. So you use them ruthlessly, relentlessly, with clarity, with courage, with conviction. Because every time you show up for yourself, you echo a deeper truth into the world, that greatness is not born, it's chosen. That potential is not found, it's forged. That success is not reserved, it's earned. And the path to it is not magic. It's daily, it's mundane, it's unseen, but it is sacred. So keep walking, keep rising, keep becoming. Let your life be the proof. Let your actions be the sermon. Let your discipline speak so loud that you no longer have to convince anyone, not even yourself. Because the mission isn't just to unlock your greatest potential. It's to live in it, breathe in it, lead from it. So others remember what's possible. So generations change because you did. And one day, long from now, when they ask how you did it, you won't talk about luck. You won't talk about talent. You'll say one thing: I built habits that matched my destiny, and I never missed a day. Now go and become all that you were born to be. Your future is waiting and you're ready. Let this be the line you cross. The day, the past, no longer holds you hostage. The moment you stop playing small with your own life, the hour you declare with full force, I was made for more than survival, more than distractions, more than waiting for someone to choose you. Because here's the truth no one tells you. You've already been chosen. Life selected you the moment you drew breath. The odds of you existing 1 in 400 trillion. That's not chance. That's assignment. You are not background noise in this world. You are a signal. And every time you align your habits with your higher self, every time you rise before the sun, every time you choose courage over convenience, you broadcast one message to the universe: I am ready to lead, because this world doesn't need more noise. It needs examples, real ones, rooted ones, disciplined ones. It needs people like you who are no longer seduced by comfort, no longer pulled by opinions, no longer stuck in a version of life that doesn't fit their soul. You weren't born to blend in. You weren't born to play it safe. You weren't born to repeat what's been done before. You were born to elevate. But listen, elevation isn't instant. It's not a surge. It's not a mood. It's not a quote. It's a process. The tallest mountains were once hidden beneath the earth. It took pressure, time, layers, seasons, and so it is with you. You are being shaped by everything you choose to face, by every early hour, every doubt overcome, every moment you choose purpose over pleasure. And over time, those choices become character, and character becomes destiny. But only if you stay the course. See, it's not the dreamers who win, it's the finishers. It's the ones who walk when it's lonely, who build when no one sees, who trust the process even when the results are silent. Because the real test isn't when things are going well, it's when you've been doing the work and nothing moves. That's the test. That's the filter. That's where most people quit, but not you. Because you understand what most people never learn, that silence is not absence, it's preparation. That delay is not denial, it's development. That your habits are not just changing your outcomes, they are changing you. And when you change, everything around you will follow. So keep stacking the days. Keep showing up like it matters, because it does. The world shifts when you shift. Your family changes when you change. Legacies are written in the smallest of decisions, multiplied across time, and one day the world will call it luck, but you'll know it was discipline. And when that day comes, when the fruits finally meet the seeds, when the world sees the results of the roots you planted, you won't just be successful, you'll be whole, because success without soul is empty. Wealth without wisdom is reckless. Progress without peace is shallow. And you were made for something deeper. You were made to lead, not just in the world, but in your own life. So don't stop. Not when it's hard. Not when it's slow. Not when it's quiet. Because greatness doesn't knock. You have to build the door. And guess what? You already are, brick by brick, word by word, habit by habit. You are building a life so aligned with your purpose that anything less than excellence feels like betrayal. And no one can take that from you because you earned it. Keep going. The next breakthrough is already on its way. You've come too far to turn back now. You've seen too much, felt too much. You've tasted discipline, and now mediocrity is poison. Because once you've glimpsed your higher self, you can't pretend you don't know who you are. You're not the old story anymore. You're not the excuses, the delay, the doubt. You're the one who shows up even when no one claps. You're the one who walks through fire, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. You understand something most never will. There's a price for everything. There's a price for growth. There's a price for discipline. There's a price for greatness. But there's also a price for comfort, a price for delay, a price for doing what's easy instead of what's right. And the price of mediocrity, it's your future. It's your legacy. It's the life you could have lived. And you refuse to pay that price because the pain of effort is temporary, but the pain of regret, that's permanent. So you show up, you work, you rise, you fall, you rise again, because this is not just about success. It's about becoming the kind of person who can't be broken, the kind of person who doesn't flinch in the face of failure, who doesn't fold when it gets hard, who doesn't quit when the dream gets quiet. Because you've learned, dreams don't respond to wishes. They respond to work. You are not waiting on motivation. You are creating momentum. Because this life, this one shot, it's not a rehearsal. It's the real thing. And if you don't decide who you are, the world will decide for you. So you make the choice, daily, deliberately, with unshakable clarity. You are not a follower. You are not a victim. You are not average. You are a builder. You are a leader. You are a force. And you lead yourself first before you lead anyone else. because the foundation of power is self-command. If you can't command your mornings, you can't command your future. If you can't lead yourself when no one is watching, how will you ever lead when the stakes are high? You are becoming the kind of person who doesn't need conditions to be perfect. You make them perfect with mindset, with structure, with presence, with power. You stop waiting for the right time. You create the time. You stop waiting for permission. You become the permission. And that's where the shift happens. When you stop trying to get confidence and you build certainty, not because it's easy, not because it's clear, but because you decided that is the mark of those who rise. They don't wait for clarity, they move anyway, because clarity comes from motion, from decisions, from pressure, from fire, and you've walked through fire. Again and again, not because you love pain, but because you love purpose. You'd rather bleed for your vision than sleep through your life. And that's the difference between the successful and the forgotten. One commits when it's easy, the other commits forever. And you made your vow the day you woke up and realized this life is mine to create, and I will not leave it to chance. You don't chase comfort anymore. You chase alignment. And every habit you've built, every standard you've raised, every excuse you've eliminated has been a vote for your future self. You cast those votes every day now. And soon, the results will be undeniable, because you don't get what you want. You get what you repeat. And you've been repeating greatness over and over in the dark, in the silence, in the places no one claps. But one day, the world will echo back what you've whispered to yourself for years, that you were never average, you were just early, and now it's your time. There is a voice inside you. It doesn't scream, it doesn't beg, it doesn't fight for attention like the noise of the world. It whispers who you are, who you've always been, who you could be, if only you stopped betraying your own potential. You've heard it, you feel it now. It's the part of you that knows, even when you're tired, even when you're doubting, even when life feels heavy, that you were born to lead a life of meaning, that you were born to build something bigger than applause, deeper than wealth, stronger than status. You were born to build yourself. And that is the ultimate mission, not the house, not the car, not the title, but the you who walks into the room without needing validation, the you who can stand alone, not because you have to, but because you've trained for it. This is what most people miss. They build lives they can't sustain because they never became the version of themselves required to hold it. They chase things their habits were never built to keep. But not you, because now you see it clearly. Everything you desire, peace, power, wealth, health, love, legacy, it's not out there, it's within you, and it's unlocked by one thing, who you decide to be every single day. Not once, not when it's easy, not when it's popular, every single day. This is the power of habits, not just repetition, but identity. Habits are not actions, they are statements. Every habit says something about who you are. Every decision is a vote cast for the life you want, or the one you'll regret. You're no longer trying to be successful. You are becoming the person success is drawn to, with your words, with your time, with your energy, with your focus. Every day, you either reinforce your future or repeat your past, but not both. So you choose. You choose the early mornings over the easy exits. You choose the gym over the excuses. You choose the journal over the scroll. You choose alignment over approval because you've realized something sacred. No one can stop you if you refuse to stop yourself. Not rejection, not failure, not fear, not time, because discipline is your armor now. Vision is your compass. And purpose is your fuel. You don't need to be motivated. You're moved. You don't need perfect conditions. You create them. You don't need a map. You are the map. You've become the type of person who doesn't need a finish line to run, because running is who you are now. You live in the process. You breathe in the hard. You love the mundane, because that's what forges champions. That's what builds greatness. That's what reshapes bloodlines. And you're not just doing this for you. You're doing it for everyone who follows, your future children, their children, and every soul whose life gets changed because you refuse to settle. You are the breaker of generational limits. The first to rise, the one who changes everything. And that's why you don't stop. That's why you don't negotiate your habits. That's why you don't lower your standards to match your surroundings. You raise your surroundings to match your standards. You don't bow to pressure. You become it, because when you lead yourself, you give others the courage to lead themselves. And that is the not just to unlock your potential, but to live so fully in it that your very existence becomes an invitation for others to rise. That's legacy, not a name on a plaque, but a life that reverberates through time, a life that proves that discipline is freedom. That vision is power, that the person you become is the loudest message you'll ever preach. So don't stop now. This is the part where most people quit. This is the part where the average turn back. But you are not average. You never were. And now it's undeniable. You've built the mindset. You've built the discipline. You've built the life. And now you own it. This is your legacy, not someday.